Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the treacherous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and dungeon master, Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie, still as the grave, Bellicom, Sam, the grey man, Burns, and Ellie, silent but deadly, Sparrow.
I am Farts.
Hello. Once again, you can see us all, which is very strange.
Apparently me and Sam are mixed up, so we'll
Not
fix that momentarily.
I am a professional.
This is our first stream that we're hosting ourselves, so there may be some technical hiccups.
Please be kind.
Please do be kind. So before we
if it does
introduce
happen
ourselves,
again, we just have to swap character sheets because that's
Right.
the only way to do it.
I'll
play
post through
Corgan.
the internet at you.
yeah, we're all in the same place. It shouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
I'm Corgan. That's convincing. There we go.
Well, it's nice to meet you. Yes.
Yes. Now, before we get on to introducing ourselves and our characters and our pronouns, I'd just like to give a really big thanks to Dragonmeat for letting us be part of this, and to the podcast zone, and an extra special big thanks to Mira at Mira Manga on Twitter for running the podcast zone this year and inviting us. Thank you very much, Mira. We would
love
not
you.
literally would not be doing this without you.
You are great.
So-
A tiny other thank you to our lovely mod, Sarah, who
Yes.
is also our lovely friend who runs the fan server. So yeah, say hello to them in the chat. They are under burritos.
Yes. So, with that in mind, let's go around the table in broadly alphabetical order and introduce ourselves. So, starting with Bobs.
Hello, I am Robbie. I use they and she pronouns, and I'm playing Scamp, the teenage sorcerer tiefling, who uses they them pronouns.
You. Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Corzin, who also uses he, him pronouns.
And Ellie, please.
I'm Ellie. I use they and she pronouns, and I'm playing Celestia Stardust, who uses she, her pronouns.
And hello, I'm Jason. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing literally everybody else, and will thus use a multitude of pronouns accordingly. Okay, so with that in mind, we are very nearly about ready to begin. There's just one thing we have to ask, and that is, casting our minds into the distant mists of time, future us, what messages from the present? If you're not a regular listener, that will make no sense to you.
Oh, one more thing. If you are a regular listener, you will be hearing noises that you don't usually hear.
Yes.
That is because we are live right now.
Yeah.
So we can't cut out things like planes going past, and we also can't have our usual soundproofing up in mine and
Yes.
Jason's house, because we need light, because you need to see us.
Yes,
So-
you may indeed hear something passing by now.
Yeah, you may hear everything from police cars to shouting drug dealers. We don't know,
We
so
don't
get
know.
excited.
We live in a nice part of town.
We do, really.
London. And extra important, before I forget, this is in the stream chat as well, but this episode comes with content warnings for insects and crustaceans, darkness, and possible body horror.
Yay!
If there are other content warnings that I've not anticipated, they will come up in the eventual recording version of this before the stream begins. All right, with that in mind, I think we've delayed as long as we can. It's time for us to begin Flintlocks and Fireballs. Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs. Well, actually, we're not going to get into the full details of previously. To find out exactly what happened, you'll need to watch the episode that came before the stream, which is in the future.
You'll need to watch with your ears
127.
because it's a podcast.
Yes, and you'll need to listen to it because it's not streamed. However, of the pertinent details, amidst the ongoing siege of the city of Newmark on the continent of Sunder, the party have just experienced a moment of calamity. as the three party members, Celestia, Scamp, and Corzin, were preparing to head back into the city of Newmark, having just finished some business on the eastern piers, Corzin noticed something out of the corner of one of his eyes. Corzin, it is important to mention, is wearing a belt that covers him in tattoos of eyes, allowing him to see in all directions at all times, and, very importantly, in between reality. However, just at the moment that you noticed this, Corzin, something snatched out of thin air, and you found yourself caught by some sort of spindly grey tendril and pulled. There's a moment of resistance, as if you're pushing against some sort of unseen barrier, and then it goes. The colour bleaches out of the world. Everything turns to shades of monochrome, as if black, white and greys were the only paints in the palette of the world. The air turns chill, but when you exhale, your breath does not condense into a fog. There's no wind, no breeze, save the soft motion brought about by your own breathing. And in the echoing silence, for just a moment, your breath is loud. But before you can come to grips with that, there is something else here with you. Corzin, you spin and see what has grabbed you. It's larger than you, actually. It's about the size of a human, the full-grown human man, but there's nothing mammalian about it. The creature resembles a cross between a prawn and a lamprey, with chitinous plates on a worm-like body, around 20 scuttling legs, and a pair of spindly tendrils for snatching its prey, one either side of the circular tooth-filled maw.
Thanks, I hate it.
Why is it always circular tooth-filled maws in the live shows?
Oh yeah, it was the same in the last one, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
We did this in February.
We did, but we're not in the same place.
No.
Before I get to what's happening on the other side of this momentary, of this divide, we're actually going to have a very quick moment of combat. Corzin, roll initiative.
No.
You are the only one who can affect
Oh
this.
no!
Okay, that's an 18.
18. Okay, you actually gain initiative. You are momentarily wrapped in the tendril of this creature as it's trying to pull you towards its lamprey-like mouth. What do you wish to do? And could you please give a very quick description of your character?
Yes, I was about to say this. Corzin is a 2'10" halfling man with a impressive array of weapons, both gunpowder and swords, and a number of different other things. He's got a battered tricorn hat on the top of his head, and a general sort of sailor's garb besides. And he's currently looking up at this monstrosity.
And you're also covered in tattoos of eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah. As a result of the belt he is wearing, which would be a choker for anything else.
Yeah.
Right. He's
So
going to look up
tiny.
at this monstrosity, which is sort of looming over him, and he's going to say, "You just made a bad mistake, friend." And he's going to unsheath both of his swords and try and cut the tendril that is holding him.
Go ahead, roll an attack.
Okay.
Roll 2 attacks. Potentially
First
3.
one. Okay, first one, that's an 18 to hit.
Hits.
Right. I'll roll damage. That's an 11 slashing.
11 slashing, got it.
Yep, second one. That's only a 15 to hit.
That still hits, roll damage.
Okay. 7 slashing damage.
Okay, and you going to use your bonus action for a third attack?
You know what? I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay. In this instant, you slash once with death the silvery blade that always seems to be as if it's catching the edge of moonlight. As you slice up, it catches one of the two tendrils and slices it through the center of it, freeing you. You
Would this be
strike.
classed as a monstrosity?
This is a monstrosity.
It's my favourite enemy then.
It's your favourite enemy. As you strike with Riptide, the adamantine blade, you actually drive it into the side of the creature's armour with a crunching. There's a moment where black ichor begins to spray out of it, and you focus for a moment, marking it. As it does so, you notice your spirits have come with you. The ambivalent octopus is clinging to you, looking uncomfortable, afraid, weirdly paler, still in colour, as you are, but paler and less pronounced. And the fish eye spirit is wavering as it helps you focus your hunter's mark. We'll explain spirits in a moment. The phase snatcher is it simply cocks its prawn-like head and tries to bite yours off.
Okay.
That is a 16.
That misses.
You pull back just in time as the circular mouth clenches just barely an inch from your face. It's actually your turn again, because right now the others can't do anything here.
Right then, I'm going to come in with another slashing attack. That's going to be 24.
Okay, roll damage.
Okay, that's 7 and Hunter's Mark. Further 3, so that's 10. And my second attack.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, if the first one hit, that will. That was a 28.
Okay, with a...
Well, no,
yeah.
sorry, that wasn't 28 damage, that was just what I rolled to hit.
Yep.
it.
Roll the damage.
That's 9 slashing damage with a Hunter's Mark of a further 4.
Finish it.
Alright, so it's going to be like...
Slavering over
Slathering before me. Corzin is going to cross his sword along the midsection and just sort of cut it in half like a pair of scissors.
Okay, with a snicker snack, if you will.
Yeah.
You slice off
will.
its head. It rolls for a moment, hitting the ground, and you step back to avoid being sprayed by the black ichor. You watch for a moment as, over the course of the next minute, the entire body just crumbles and decays, turning into a mixture of shattered chitin and, for want of a better word, black ooze. You're briefly able to spot the creature's brain before it disintegrates entirely.
Have I seen any other creatures like this before?
Yes, there was. You saw a very much smaller and kind of not entirely dissimilar type creature when you were in Golden Kratz and Guildenstern, when you
the larval stage of
through
this,
the
maybe.
place. And it's about this point that, breathing heavily, hearing your own breath, you take stock of the world around you.
Yeah, where are the others?
You are still on the dockside, still on the pier, but the world is drained of colour.
In the upside down.
You can see...
Where's Winona? Where is she?
Will!
Will!
You can see there is, apart from this now rapidly decaying and collapsing creature, no life here. No animals, no birds, insects or fish. The waters of the sea are still and tideless. They run up the River Hound to a point and then simply stop. The riverbed barren and exposed, where it rises over the perfectly level sea. But the city exists. Buildings still stand around you, crumbled and broken, as if left to stand untouched and unrepaired for centuries. Withered dead trees persist in the places living ones should be. You can see the crumbling remains of ships floating or lying sunken in the harbour. The world is still. And peering, focusing with your sight, you can just see the shadowy echoes, like indistinct, barely visible, of people going about their lives completely unaware of what's happening.
Oh, is this like what's happening
two of them,
where I was?
Indeed, and two of them are staring at where you were. And at that moment, we're going to shift perspectives for here in the world of colour. Celestia, Scamp, you have just heard Corzin call out, "Hold on, I think I see something," and then seen something grab him out of nowhere and pull him out of existence, just completely vanishing from sight.
That's quite bad, isn't it?
That's a problem. I'm gonna just touch the place where he was.
Your hand just goes straight through the air.
I'm going to use the message stone. Corzin.
Nothing.
Hello.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I'd try sending, but I really don't have that many spells left.
Indeed, the events of the previous episode have drained you.
Yeah, out of character, viewers, you have no idea how tapped we all are right now because of what's just happened. We can't tell you what, but we don't have a lot of spells.
I'd like
I'm
actually
so
to take a
low on
moment.
spells for reasons that we all know, so we don't need to refer to at all.
Reasons that we definitely don't need to talk about, but we're all aware of, yeah.
Can I actually ask the pair of you to give a short description of your characters, please?
Yes. Scamp is 5'8" now. They've had a growth spurt. No, 5'6". I remember 5'8" is me. I can tell the difference between me and my character. They are a pink teenage tiefling with curly goat's horns, silver hair. This in the picture.
Because we can do that.
These are really
useful.
Yeah, for anyone listening on the audio medium, I'm holding up finger puppets. You can definitely find them on our social media if you so wish. I need to do that as well.
Yes, please do.
Celestia looks like this. She is a super extra drow bard. If we go with the fact that she's wearing this outfit, she has several. It's like purple waistcoat, silver shirt that's far too low, codpiece with a C on it, and a big dandelion of white hair, and far too many musical instruments. It doesn't look like she should be able to stand up, but she can, because she's amazing. There you go.
When we say far too many musical instruments, like there's an ophicleide on her back. It's like a cross between a saxophone and a tuba.
If you want to go there, guitar, ophicleide, xylophone, drum, triangle, kit violin.
Okay, so there is also visible to Celestia but not Scamp a sort of swirling ribbon of rainbow light, the pride spirit that accompanies Celestia and provides her with her magic. Scamp cannot see this, nor can most people, but to Celestia and to Corzin were he here, they would see the city is filled with spirits, with creatures of magic imperceptible to most, usually taking the form of motes of light or sounds or small animals, but in fantastical in nature, and notably absent from the other place. There is also one point of bridging as we shift back.
Oh no.
In the colourless world, there is, as you have seen before here, Corzin, one point of colour, of unexpected, expected colour because you know to look for it. You can see just sort of inside and slightly behind one of the two indistinct figures is what appears to be Scamp, but faint and all in silver.
Friend.
the version of Scamp, friend, frowns. And probably for the first time, Corzin, you hear him speak.
What? Should we
Friend
give a brief
pronouns
rundown of what friend is for new people?
Yeah.
Friend is Scamp's imaginary friend who turned out to be not that imaginary. We're going to leave it at that because it's...
That's a good explanation, actually.
There's so much
Yeah.
we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Friend's pronouns are he, him, so despite
actually-
looking like friend, going to use him pronouns.
That's actually basically the explanation that we have.
Yeah. Scamp, you also hear only friend speak. Well, this is unexpected.
Friend? What happened?
Friend?
Yes. Corzin is in the place you went to that time in the pyramid.
Oh. Oh.
You're making scary noises with no context.
Sorry.
What's
Yeah,
happening?
Friend can see Corzin. He's still here, but he's on in the other place.
Oh, right. Okay, well, it's good somebody can see him, but I was worried he'd teleported or something, which would have had
me
really
too.
worrying implications.
What's going on?
How do you get out of that place?
I just got there automatically.
Oh, dear.
Well, if I had to make a guess, I'd say that thing probably pulled you here. I can't bring you back to here because you're a little bit more physical than I am. You see that Friend, interestingly, looks very much like spirits do to you.
Okay.
That sort of slight insubstantial element to it that you could almost, if you wanted, see through them. But you've only once seen Friend or something like him in the living world.
Okay. I usually see this place with the belt, but I've not actually been physically here, if that is what's happening.
That would have been for the best if you hadn't. He
Well,
looks
how did that
up and
thing
around.
bring me here?
It's how they hunt. Unfortunately, I don't actually know that much about this place. You'd need that hag would have been your best bet. Olga.
You're shitting me.
Well, she had the dogs, didn't she? How did the dogs get in and out?
No, the dogs weren't, they weren't hers. They were her mentors. But your little hag friend,
Clara.
Clara.
Clara can go
Clara
there.
might be able to get there.
Can she take anyone? We need to ask her.
You need to ask.
We need to go to Clara. Could you tell Corzin we're going to go to Clara and he should just follow? Can he do that?
I can pass on the message.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think
We're going to head to Clara back on the Kraken's Bane. You'll need to make your own way there.
Alright, if the layout here is the same as where I've just come from, I can probably do that.
tell him to stay alive. Molly will murder us.
Stay alive. Your wife will murder them.
Yes, she will. Right.
It'll be our fault if he dies. Right, come on then.
As Scamp and as you see the shadowy forms of Scamp and Celestia move off, Friend follows after them and becomes indistinct. Looking around, Corzin, you realise diabetes. You realize
So many diabetes. It's not a motorbike. Those don't exist
those
here.
don't exist. You look around and you can see that things are not quite as they are. Much of the outer edges of the city do resemble what you saw before. They are still... The streets still have the layout, even though the buildings are crumbling. The river is still in the same place. But towards the centre of town, near to, I want to say, Midtown and St. Stitchfathers, the buildings seem to have crunched together crumbled and formed some sort of mound. And it's strange. In places it looks almost as if the sky is cracked.
Ooh.
Splinters of darkness cutting through the air. You'll need to make your own way back to the Kraken's Bane, or at least to Little Feroz, near where it is moored.
Yeah, am I able to navigate reasonably well given my knowledge of what the city is usually like?
You are. You sort of have to move around the edge of the city, and you do make your way. But as you do so, things are broken, filled with rubble, difficult. I'd like you to make a perception check, please.
Does this have advantage because it's site-based?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Alright, that is a 21.
Okay. You are able to pick your way through the ruined streets with not too much difficulty, but around about the point where you reach, I want to say, the garment district, heading towards the triangle, you find that you find something curious. Several of the streets, despite the grey colour, have, well, tiny moment, something that stands out, something that isn't in the living world. This world is absent light and shade. There is no sun in the sky, but the sky is simply black above you, and yet everything seems evenly lit. Apart from diabetes.
Damn motorbike.
These damn diabetes.
How long can you rev for? Wow.
Celestia and Scamp are like being like someone has knocked over like a bee hive, and they're just like fanning off bees, trying to get. However, despite the lack of the otherwise lack of light and shade, there is a patch of darkness that you spot in the street. A few of these dotted here and there that grow more and more intense towards their core and then solidify into something that looks almost like smoked glass. At the very centre, behind the smoky plains, there is something quite unexpected. A flash of brilliant colour. Through one you can see a tiny patch of grass still green. Through another, high up, you catch a glint of blue sky. On one near a wall, the red of baked brick.
Oh, so are these like windows?
You're not sure?
I'm going to approach one cautiously.
Okay.
Go look at things on your own. That
You
always
start
goes really
you
well.
approach one. You get towards the edge of the patch of darkness. Everything is chill, but it starts to get colder as you get near this. You indeed, actually, as you look in it, you do see what looks like a little smoky crystal, through which you can see everything behind it looks almost as it would in the living world.
Okay. I am going to tap it very gently with the end of my sword.
Roll a dexterity check, please.
Just a check. Okay.
Yep.
Concern.
Okay. So 13?
Much concern.
13. As you you gently tap it, it seems to move. It moves a little bit. And as you pull the tip of the sword back, you accidentally flip it. It hits the ground and shatters. And this one is the one that was on the little bit of grass. As it does so, just for an instant, colour blooms into the world, and with it a rush of just gale force air. You are thrown back, and as you do so, you feel your flesh seemed to wither, as if time is rapidly running through you. It is agonizingly painful. And 1 moment, and you take.
Oh dear.
You take 18 points of necrotic damage, and you have aged by 10 years.
Okay.
Whoa.
What?
Oh no. Oh
Right,
no.
Oh, we are
10
in
years.
trouble if we don't reverse that.
Molly's going to kill us.
Molly's
You
gonna
look down
murder
and
us.
see that your hands, although you're nearly 60, you would be tomorrow, but you can see the veins on your hands are a little bit more pronounced. Like you're halfling years, so it's 2 for each human one, but still, you are visibly a little bit older. It's a little concerning.
Oh, that's weird.
Looking
Also,
at
that
these,
wasn't aching a minute ago.
you probably could pick one of these up, but you'd have to be very careful. Now, as you by the way, one thing as I mentioned before, there are no spirits here at all, and you notice the octopus just like cling to you harder as this happens. They are silent and shivering.
I don't think that was a very good idea.
They shrug, but in a way that seems to indicate, yeah.
Right, I'm going to keep my eye out for any more of these, but I'm going to try and continue my route towards where I
You
think.
carefully avoid these for the rest of your route and make your way back to the docks. We're going to head over to the other side, though, as the party, the other members of the party, reach the docks and safely and take a little longboat rowed back to the Kraken's Bane. Aboard, you quickly make your way aboard the ship, and I'm assuming you're going straight to Clara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You head down, you knock on the
Clara!
door where she's staying.
Clara, everything's terrible, help!
Everything's awful. Please fix it.
The door opens, and you can see behind there is what appears to be a small girl. Human, maybe 8 or 9, with flat blonde hair tied back in a tail, a sallow, pale face marked with pock scars sunken below dull grey eyes. She's wrapped in a blue felt coat with a green dress and gloves, and some solid hide boots beneath. She looks tired, but smiles at first and then frowns. What's wrong?
Something really weird has just happened. Corzin sort of got grabbed by something, and now he's in the other place. How do we describe that? You've been, I haven't.
The still world.
Sure, that's actually a really good description for it.
That's not good.
No.
Do you know what he did with the with what took him?
Friend?
It looked like he cut its head off and then it turned into some ooze.
It's dead.
Damn it.
Is that bad? Is that not good? Is it not good to kill the monster?
No, killing the monster is good. I just slightly wish he'd done it when I was there. Oh, okay. This, right. I seen you told him to come here?
Yeah, friend, did he listen?
It seemed like he did.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Oh, there are a number of problems with that. I can get there myself, but I couldn't safely bring him back.
How do you mean?
Okay. Olga's notes on the still world were shaky.
Well,
She didn't
there's a
spend
surprise.
Well, she didn't have a heartstone, so she didn't go there herself. From what I know of it, it's sort of it's like our world, but it's hungry. It drains life, vitality, and it's very strange about age and time. the longer you, if you spend time there, every day you spend there could age you by a year. But
Oh dear.
but it's actually faster in places. It's not as bad as it could be. If you can get back here without aging into dust, then being back in our world will restore you to the age you were when you left. The problem is, the only way that I know how to bring someone back, and she reaches into an inner coat pocket and pulls out what looks to be like a small, sort of rough-cut black gemstone shining. I can go there and I can come back and I could take someone, but the return journey ages you about 100 years in an instant.
I can't do that.
It doesn't really. I can do it because I can't die of old age.
But anyone who you brought with you
Would age, and then if they survived it, would turn back. So you'd probably be fine, Celestia. You're an elf. Scamp, it would be touch and go for you. How old's Corzin? Nearly 60?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Half things usually cap out around 120.
60 like
Okay, well, that's...
There are other ways.
if he's aged 10 years, how old is he now?
It'd be
He's
nearly
now
70.
almost 70.
So he would be-
he is
how
now
old would he?
69. Nice.
Nice.
That's how old
you.
he is.
Thank you. So, right. The best way would be to get another snatcher, but those are, as I understand, those are pretty rare, and they can sort of come to and from freely without causing that to happen. Alchemy. I can do this with alchemy.
Oh.
She reaches to a corner and pulls out a huge sort of luggage, luggage case, and starts rifling through it, pulling out a series of small bottles and what looks like a jar filled with a kind of slightly greenish, translucent goop. Okay. This jar will preserve things. Whatever you put in it from time, from decay. It sounds, the moment you kill one of those things, they're going to start breaking apart. They're going to start rotting. But if we could get one of their brains out and into this before it completely rotted away, I could use alchemy to extract its ability to shift between this world and the still world.
And you
Okay.
could give it to Corzin.
I could give it to any of us, and we'd be able to bring the others back.
Okay, so we could go and get him.
We can all go
Yes.
get
That's
it.
good.
Good.
But we need to find a new one of these, and
There
we
aren't any
need-
on this side of the...
They live there. They only come here to hunt. And the
Right.
easiest way would be to go over there and find one. Okay, I think I can. I can bring both of you there. Where's Jeffrey and Marjorie?
Oh,
You
no.
look round. There's no sign of them. They've gone off on their own
Are they in
adventure.
there too? Did we ask about that?
Friends?
I didn't see them, says friend.
Okay, they're not in...
They're doing shenanigans, it's fine.
Probably for the best.
I'm worried about the shenanigans they could get into right now. Oh,
I
well.
mean, Jeffrey's already basically a crime boss at this point, so, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out later in episode 128. Now, okay, we don't have... Corzin doesn't have the most time. Give me a minute to pre-prepare a solution that will allow me to turn the brain into a potion.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ask. She starts
so-
meddling with a sort of pot.
Is there a way that
table
he could
alchemy
try
set.
and get back before we get to him and not know about the aging thing?
Say that again.
Like, if he tries to get back before we get to him and he doesn't know about the aging thing, could he potentially just die? We should probably warn him.
He could. There are some dangers out there. If he reached a stasis crystal, perhaps that could risk aging him.
That sounds terrifying.
Friend, can you warn him?
I can try. I can't get far, but...
Wait, he's not here? I assumed he'd followed
He's not
us.
I think he was a little bit behind.
Why is he not here? We've been
He
a
has
while.
tiny legs.
He does have tiny legs.
Literally has a shorter move speed than you.
Yeah.
And he
So
has to tread
tiny.
carefully.
They're like little finger legs.
Yeah, Celestia gets out her real finger puppet. I mean, he's only this big. You know? I don't see a size difference between this and real Corzin, particularly.
No difference. It's
Taken him a
accurate.
really long time to walk on his little legs to get all the way here. He's
He's
probably dying. Why are we being so stupid?
We're the
I'm horrified. We're bad friends.
We are the worst.
Okay, I'm finished with the preparations. So long as he doesn't find one of these, she holds up the Heartstone, he'll be fine. That's the only other way I know to get back. There might be another, but these are the two ways I know of.
Right.
All right. Maybe we shouldn't be on the ship when we do this.
Would that be bad? Why would that be bad?
It might not be here.
Yeah, we might fall into like horrid. No, let's just not be here. This is not good.
Let's get
Oh,
onto the
a
shore.
sanctum's bad, is that what we're saying?
No, this ship's not a permanent feature. It just might not be in the other place properly.
My head hurts. Okay, let's go on the land.
Okay.
Excellent.
You clamber. You head out back to the longboat and are rowed back with Clara to the docks. It's about this point, Corzin, that you reach the edge of the docks. You can see the docks on the western bank are crumbling ancient wood. The Kraken's Bane is not in the harbour. It is not in the water where it should be, but you can see off to one side the not destroyed by fire but crumbled by age dry docks and the sunken and crumbled remnants of the Kraken's Bane inside it.
Oh, all right.
This does not match up to where it is in the real world.
Yeah.
But you do see, as if floating on the air and just the shimmering form, if you focus on it, you can see the others rowing out towards you.
All right. I am going to try and make my way towards them.
You do. The three of you climb up onto the pier about the same time that Corzin reaches you.
Friend, can you see me?
Here. I can. Corzin's here.
Oh, good.
Has already been eaten or something. Can that happen
Yeah,
if you're in the
or
other place?
Aged horribly.
He's fine.
He's fine, apparently.
I didn't even hear that first hand, and it sounds suspicious.
It sounds suspicious.
What does fine mean?
We need to get to him before
I
he
think
does
we
something
need to
dumb.
do this. Okay, everyone, take my hand.
Okay.
Clara has a Heartstone
What is this gesture
wrapped
on
in one
screen?
hand. She's
Yeah, I take it there is a plan going on here.
There is. I'll let them explain. Okay, now the thing is, this is all about what the stone lets me do, is see things. And they shift around, but moment by moment there are gaps between here and there. She seems to be walking seemingly random on the pier for a moment, peering into nothing that any of you can see.
Gaps at random between this horrifying still world and our world appeared.
They're only here for a moment, but if
whenever.
you just get... She steps, and both of you feel a moment of pressure and resistance, and then colour drains from the world. The water goes still. Some things seem to change their position, like the Kraken's Bane, and you can now find yourself in the grey, ruined city. Standing not 20 feet away is Corzin, a few more wrinkles around his eyes, and interestingly, a little less colourful. All of you, now that you look at yourselves, are a little bit subdued compared to your normal colour palette, but Corzin is looking visibly a little bit greyer. even the rainbow spirit, which is flickering around like in a panic for a moment, seems to get a little bit slower, a little bit nervy. And
yeah, rainbow spirit doesn't like it here. That's weird. You look terrible. What the fuck happened?
What did you do?
There was like a window back into what I thought was normality, but it just shattered.
Stasis crystal. They're Olga said that they were something like frozen time. If you could they can be turned into dangerous weapons in the living world if you're stupid enough to try and collect them. But here, if they're disturbed, the time can unwind.
Don't get ideas.
I'm full of ideas.
Everything that built up that should have happened happens.
Ooh.
Oh.
Is that why you look like
all that
100 now?
At once. Coulson is going to improvise a mirror by looking at the edge of his sword, because that's pretty
I
much
just have a mirror because I'm me.
Yeah.
I see you trying to do this and just
do.
get by out.
Haven't you also got like eyes on your hands? You could just.
Oh, that is
Oh
true,
yeah,
Ooh,
you
you
just
like
hold
look
up
at
the hand
yourself.
out to yourself, and indeed,
Ooh.
you are maybe 10 years older.
You look like 100.
Oh, that's
5 years older in human terms.
You're even wrinklier than you already were.
Like ancient, like Norrit old.
I poke one of his face wrinkles because I'm a dick.
Norrit was probably older than this before I was born. All right. This
So old.
is not good. Is there a way of reversing this?
Yes, we need to get you back into the living world before you age into bones and dust.
All right. Yeah, I'm a fan of this idea. I would rather not spend my last days here.
Why not? It's so nice. Lovely holiday destination.
Yeah. Oh, is friend here?
Yes, they're over there.
You turn and you can see, standing not 5 feet away, is a monochrome silvery version of Scamp. You can just see blurring at the edges is a little bit of purple and blue as well.
I was going to ask the others here.
Hello. This
Hello.
is unusual.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit scary. I didn't realise you just looked like Scamp but different colours.
Yeah, CD and Lux are the really creepy ones, but let's just leave them out of this and hope they don't turn up.
Yeah, because friend is fine.
Yep.
There's a moment where Clara coughs. We don't have a lot of time. The longer
No.
we spend here, the more you're going to age.
Okay,
Now-
let's keep
Alright.
moving.
We need to... Cousin, we need to find another of the things that tried to eat you.
All right. Well, I got a pretty
and
good
then-
look at it.
Okay. Then we need to cut its head off and preserve its brain before it rots away, so I can make a potion that will give you its powers.
Yeah, because that one just
Okay.
crumbled into dust in like a minute.
Here you age about a year in a day. Decay happens quickly.
Oh, let's not hang around then. All right.
Nope.
I am then going to use the fact that monstrosities are one of my favourite enemies
Okay.
in order to try and track down one.
Ha ha!
Yay.
Okay, make a survival check with advantage.
Oh,
Hey.
give you a little poke and say it's like a fine wine and you get inspiration.
Ah,
And the
thank you.
rainbow spirit crackles a little unsteadily over to you. Interestingly,
20.
actually... Oh, wait. I just realised where you all are.
What?
Scamp, for the first time ever, you can see the rainbow spirit.
Second time ever.
Second time ever, you can see the rainbow spirit and the ambivalent octopus.
I want to touch them both immediately.
Your hands pass straight through them.
Hello.
The rainbow
Hello.
spirit basically does the motion of licking your face like a dog and has a lovely time playing with your hair and meeting you.
I would imagine the ambivalent octopus shrugs.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, more scared and quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. Natural 20. You look to the ground, and you just get a sense, almost. It's hard to tell. Like, you realise there are actually, if you look for them, tracks here. The ground is very brittle. It breaks easily. Even the stone does. And you realise you can see what seem to be animal tracks of clawed feet making their way towards that huge central mound of collapsed buildings.
Well, it would have tracks like this, and it's leading over there. It's like a termite mound, maybe.
Oh, why did you have to say that? Disgusting. Ooh.
I was worried you'd say that.
Yeah, that sounds
Clara
like
looks up.
many things. I don't want many things.
We only want one, don't we?
Hovering against the dead black starless sky, you can see the air around that central portion is cracked. The sky is shattered, radiating out from what you can see might be tiny flicks of colour in the air. There are spiderweb threads of flickering shadow and light just running through the air, across the ground, up through buildings, unmoving, but closer and more numerous as you get nearer towards that central mound.
I'm not sure I like this. What actually happened here? Why is the city broken? Why is it not broken where we are?
How
but
it
it's broken
always
here?
looks like that.
Don't.
Is that a normal explanation, or did something actually happen?
Everything normally looks crumbled and decayed and age-worn, but this is the first time you've seen like buildings moved, like physically moved from their position, because it looks as if everything, like the whole city is crumbled and broken down, but it does look as if buildings have been like bunched up and shifted into a huge mound.
Huh. Well, it's a good thing we did nothing important earlier today, and that we're
It's a
all
good thing we've
fresh
got so
and
many
ready to
spells
go.
left. Yeah. I've got so many, thousands.
It's
A whole 3.
going to be some kind of
Oh, you're worse than me.
reflection of what's happening in, well, where we came from. But like, look, there's a ship in that dry dock there that looks like the Kraken's Bane, and I know it isn't there.
Oh.
No, you moved that out like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's weird. But time's weird here. Maybe this is this the future?
Or
Is it the past?
Well, if it's the past, it wouldn't be
I
so crumbly, would it?
don't
So
think
it might
there's
be
a
like
one-to-one
far future.
comparison.
Or
'Cause
like
if-
3 days.
If there was, then
Or maybe
what
it's
the
just a
heck
myth.
is that big mound over there?
Okay, no, that is a problem. We should... I'd like to say we should blow it up, but I'm not sure we've got that in us. Ever. Let alone today.
I've got a couple of big uns, but
If it comes to
Strange.
that, we'll see
At
what we
once,
can do. But
with the lack of other sound, your voices feel like they're booming, but they're also strangely muted.
in a place this empty, our voices should be echoing off the buildings, but they're not. Why?
like we're underwater or something. But not completely.
Yeah.
It just feels like after a certain distance, the sound waves just give up.
I'm going to ding my triangle and see how it sounds.
Oh, it's
You hear a sort of ding, but rather than the usual ding, it's more like a ding.
It's almost like when it's been snowing, everything's a bit muffled. But there's no snow, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Good comparison, though.
It's very
Let's
strange.
talk and walk. We need to make
Let's
our way
talk and
towards
walk.
that if that's where you've seen the tracks
Should
go.
we maybe walk a little bit quietly?
Yeah.
Might be wise.
I don't make noise when I walk. Keep
Okay,
your eyes
so
peeled.
Stealthily.
stealthily indeed. Although the crumbling buildings do provide plenty of cover as you make your way through the shattered remnants of Little Feroz. You're going to reach where you need to be, roughly where Midtown and Stitchfather were. You'll need to travel up through what used to be the region of Sorry Hill and the Kitchen, not far from Five Friars. But those cracks are becoming more numerous. You're going to need to move and indeed, Clara puts up a hand. Don't step on the cracks. Breaking your back is the least of your worries.
Wonder where that superstition came from.
Okay.
They're a little bit like the stasis crystals. I mean, they're basically the same thing. But see how they're all linked to them. She points, and as you follow her finger up a crack, it eventually leads to what you recognize as a stasis crystal, just in position in midair.
Oh.
The electric wires.
Yeah, don't touch them.
Going to need to be very careful. This far out, still in Little Faraz, the splintering lines only run across the ground, although there are little nodules of stasis crystals here and there on the ground as well. So I would like each of you to make a stealth check to carefully pick your way through the nodules.
Stealth.
I'm really good at stealth.
I'm pretty good at
Makes no
stealth.
difference, I don't
Also
make
using
sounds.
new dice from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
Hey.
Natural 20.
22.
For first on-air roll with the new dice. That's exciting.
Hey.
19.
Nice. Okay. You very carefully begin to make your way through. Footsteps loud but strangely unechoing. As you get past Little Faraz and you reach the edge of the kitchen, you can see that one of those aerial cracks, what's it called, the center point, the epicenter, is hanging right above the crossroads at the center, and the cracks are now splintering through the air. It should be possible to get through between them, but you're essentially going to need to sort of limbo and carefully thread yourselves between the narrow spaces. I'd like each of you to make an acrobatics check, please.
No. Tides of Chaos is active already?
Oh, I think it's not active from last time, although actually, if you want to activate it, you can. Just if you want to discharge it so you can use tides, you can.
So 19 on the acrobatics.
That's 24 from me.
I'm gonna hang back until they've got ahead. Then I'm going to activate it because I'm terrible at acrobatics.
Okay, roll a D100, please.
46.
Okay, so.
Oh, that was a face. That was a face I can actually see this time.
Oh no.
So Scamp hangs back on one side of the crossroads. Celestia nimbly picks her way through, kind of doing an impressive,
Slightly fancier than necessary.
A little bit fancier than necessary, but manages to scrape by the cracks in the air, like the world's most dangerous game of, what's that one with the electric hoop? I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the like
Steady hand.
buzzer thing.
Steady hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Calls in, kind of goes down, kind of crawls under one, gets up, steps over one on the ground, and also carefully threads his way to the other side.
This is like spelunking or like caving.
Scamp,
Like.
you take a moment to prepare yourself, and then as you try and relax, get yourself ready, you just feel something unlock inside you.
Huh.
And then a surge of magic fills you, and you are propelled upwards into the air,
Uh-oh.
passing right through one of the cracks.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You watch in horror as the crack flares with light and the sound of leaves and wind, and runs all the way up to that central point where it strikes the crystal, and with a reality suddenly bursts back into existence just for an instant. before it becomes grey again. And in that instant, there is gale force wind. Stalled pressure from the ground begins to release, and everything rumbles and cracks around you. And you know what, actually, let's go for a slightly more dramatic sound effect to that one.
A little jazzy for the
a little bit jazzy. Not slightly
and you aged 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, there is a weird sense of there we go. And as it all flows out, the ground rumbles and cracks.
Uh-oh.
Huge, jagged lines appear in the floor. Buildings start to rumble and crumble as the discharging knocks another stasis crystal, unreleasing it, knocking another stasis crystal, releasing it.
Oh, no.
So having just cast Levitate upon yourself unwillingly, now I'd like you to make an acrobatic. Actually, no. You can if you wish skip the acrobatics check because you get hit by a burst of time, Scamp. So
you aging is going to be so dramatic.
You age. So interestingly, you age forwards, but you don't grow any taller. As you also gain 10 years of age. And you take 11 points of necrotic damage. You're still at a healthy sort of age, but you are aged up.
Oh no! Now I'm as old as Celestia. I'm ancient.
I mean, this is the end.
Withered.
It's almost over.
My glory days are
for a
over.
moment and scramble through the collapsing, exploding time, making your way forwards. And at this point,
Scamp is still younger than me. That's a little depressing.
At this point, the three of you
Scamp's
are
still
now
younger than all of us.
kind of just at this point, everything is breaking around you, and Clara, skipping past, gets a face full of exploding time.
Oh.
She hits the ground, picks herself up. She hasn't grown visibly. Her height is the same, but her features change, withering and shifting into someone in their maybe middle age. She scrambles forward. Don't worry about it. We need to run.
Okay, I need a few seconds to get down on the ground.
Okay, I'm blending this into time. Because we're not doing this round by round. You hit the ground again and start running through all of this. The buildings begin to crumble and slide down around you as you race desperately through. Through the kitchen, reaching the very edge of the mound. A huge, a tall building, what used to be some sort of apartment block, begins to slide down right as if it's about to collapse right onto the only entrance you can see into this building mound. I'm going to need each of you. I'm going to need at least one of you to make an athletics check. And everyone else has a choice of athletics or acrobatics to either try and hold up the rubble that is a piece of rubble, bracing it to keep it from collapsing on the entrance, or just peg it through and into the mound.
Did you use your inspiration, Sam?
No, and I'm going to actually.
Okay, if you need it, use it. Yeah.
Add it.
I'm going to do acrobatics and just run because strength and blood magic.
Yeah.
26. A point of order though, if Coulson is holding something up for the rest of you, do bear in mind he's 2'10".
Oh yeah! You are. Fortunately, there is like a piece of collapsing wall that you are holding up, and that is taking a lot of the brunt of falling damage. So Celestia, roll your acrobatics.
I got 21.
21, and Scamp.
I'm going to use the tides because why not? Okay, that is also a 21. Acrobatics rather than athletics.
Oh, Clara. Okay, you run Coulson, you hold and brace the piece of rubble. Celestia leaps through and into the protection of the mound. Scampers afterwards and just manages to slide in. You're holding it, you're trying to keep it together, but Clara is running slower. She just manages to get to you as you feel the building start to collapse.
Can I try and add a d4 to whatever she rolled?
It doesn't matter, natural one.
No!
Corzin,
No!
you grab Clara by the arm and pull her in just as you hear the strange rush of wind and bird song that is a detonating stasis crystal just behind her. None of you take any damage. As the building crunches closed ahead of her, behind you, you're plunged into, not darkness actually, because there is no darkness, everything is the same light level. But there's a moment where Clara's hair is hanging over her face. And as she picks herself up, I'll be fine. You can see she still as tall as she was, still child-sized, is now filled with wrinkles.
You don't look fine.
She seems to be getting greyer, but also her skin is acquiring a purplish tint at the edges.
Oh dear. This will all be undone, won't it, when we get out?
But yeah, this will reverse, won't it?
It will.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Do you want to ride on Corzin's back?
I'm also going to volunteer Corzin's back.
She picks up a bit of fallen, petrified-looking wood and props herself up with it, using it like a cane. Come on. We should investigate this place.
Okay.
Okay.
It is, again, not dark, and it's weird because it feels like it should be. You are in some sort of tunnel, almost, like a corridor. You can see piled up on either side of you, there are layers of building facades. There's even still the ancient, faded and peeling paint of H. McGufty's hardware supplies, just faintly still visible. And yet, there is, at the far end of this little tunnel, a light. It barely casts any light, but you can see what appears to be a dwarf crystal, a little yellowish crystal that is emitting pale, barely lit colour. Like the crystal itself is like almost entirely bleached grey, and it appears to be placed in some sort of rusted and ancient-looking sort of sconce or holster, bent into place. The passageway bends off to a side beyond that, where you cannot see.
I feel like that shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Why is
Someone
that
put
here?
that here?
If they did,
That's
they must
in
have done
place.
so recently. Wouldn't that just decay with everything else here, Clara?
In time. But the iron could last for a good long while, and dwarf crystals will never actually break.
So someone could have put it here a while ago. But it's not... like, this isn't where it came from.
Then perhaps there was one in the city somewhere. There is a fashion for them in the houses of the wealthy.
They have them a lot down below.
But they
What
would
if
not
we
have
nicked
been.
it? What would happen?
Then you would get yourself a dwarf crystal.
Let's do that then.
Okay. You make your way up towards the crystal. one thing of note, in this space, you don't see any sort of accretions of stasis crystals or frozen time, anything like that at all.
Any signs of, like, people, like any personal effects or tracks or...
Perception or survival, depending on whether you are looking around or looking for tracks.
Look around.
Perception.
Natural 20 on the new dice again. Hello.
Okay.
See all the things, if there are any.
17.
If there aren't any, I still don't see any of the things.
Causing you very easily see a lot of small tracks. Some of them clawed, some of them less so. Some that seem to like almost be like ingrained or like smoothed into the ground, into the stone. In fact, interestingly, although they are cracked from time, someone has laid smooth flankstones on the base here, leading along this corridor and leading up and around. Celestia, you look, and you notice this off at the back, but you also listen, and you can hear, muted because sound doesn't travel, coming from somewhere beyond, somewhere deeper into the mound.
Anyone else hear music?
Nope.
I think so.
I mean, there's a sort of hissing, clicking, and music.
You have to really strain your ears to catch the edge of it, but you do.
Right.
Oh, I don't
Why
know.
is there music here?
There shouldn't be music here.
That clicking was the noise that thing that grabbed me made.
Oh, good.
Did it make any music when it grabbed you? I mean, that would sound like a ridiculous question, but there was that
No.
musical monster in the Dreamfold, so we know that's a thing.
No, it's a good question. It didn't that I noticed.
Okay, so maybe something else, or...
Do we recognise the music?
Nothing that comes to you immediately, but you do see friend frown. He reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder. You can't actually feel it. There's no substance to it. Tread carefully.
Okay.
It sounds like an old song.
Can we all hear friend now, or can
You
Scamp?
can all hear friend now.
Okay.
You just hear.
How old?
Hard to remember. Before your time.
Right.
Or mine.
He nods.
Out of character, it's a person's voice humming, yeah?
Sounded like it, yeah.
Okay. It's hard to... You're DMing,
I'm
so
DMing,
it
but
could be
no,
like you
you
making
hear
the
a-
noise
you hear
of
a person's
something,
voice
but
humming.
like, yeah. It did sound like a person rather than a creature.
Yeah, but how many people have we met that are awful?
Oh, I'm not saying that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that there's something else here.
Yeah, I don't think, like, horrible phase monsters lay flagstones often.
No. This looks new compared to everything else around here.
Okay, let's go stealthily and quietly.
I'd
Yeah.
pop up for detect thoughts, but I'm a bit tapped.
Yeah.
So if we really need one, I can, but I'm trying to conserve.
Let's conserve.
Yeah.
Everyone give me a stealth check, please.
Ugh.
15.
Stealth, 19.
Okay. Clara.
Oh, I was about to ask about Jeffrey again, but Jeffrey's not here.
Jeffrey's not
Aw.
here. Jeffrey's off on his own adventure. You carefully make your way to the edge of the corridor. You can, if you wish, go up and steal the dwarf crystal, but at this particular moment you haven't, because it kind of backs straight onto where the corridor turns around. So it's
Okay,
very
let's
visible
not
from around the
nick it if
corner.
we're gonna immediately be spotted.
Yeah.
Peering around the edge,
In height order.
in height order.
Yeah.
It's sort of each other.
It's particularly weird because there's 4 heads now. It still works.
Clara above calling.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
you can see a sort of crescent, almost. This mound seems to have two layers: an outer layer of crumbling walls and rooftops bent over into place, and an inner one. And sandwiched in between these two layers, where they meet at the top, sandwiched in between is a crescent of space and unexpected civilization. You see shacks, for want of a better word, almost like a little shanty town built onto the edges of these protective walls. Pieces of iron propping up what seem to look like preserved hide, grey hide or leather, to create little overhangs. Not that there would really be any need for them here. There's no visible weather, but almost just for the style of it, you can see little hollows and shelters, stone or ancient-looking and crumbling wooden tables brought up to serve as workspaces. What seem to be arrays of junk, salvage, laid out on them, and hammocks, places to sleep, places to work. What looks almost like, were it not for the fact that it was assembled from just blocks of stone to create the bar and upturned rusting metal buckets, might just be a bar or pub of sorts. And filling this little street are creatures.
Oh boy.
Creatures not quite human. Not quite human at all. Many of them have humanoid forms. Most are Corzin or Clara's height. Some smaller, some taller. They are spindly, thin. Some with rat-like features, big, pale yellow eyes. Some that move like cats, that remind you more than a little of the form Lux once took. Some that seem to be serpentine, with, you see one creature coiled around a long post, using it like a sleeping place, but with what appear to be 6 spindly arms. The creature in question is also about Corzin's size. There are less than 100, more than 40 that you can see, and they are just going but wafting faintly through the air before the sound kills it, you can still hear
Where is that coming from?
I don't know.
Are they noticeably communicating with each other?
They do seem to be hissing or clicking at one another.
Okay.
You can actually see, they don't seem to have noticed you yet. You see in one corner there is what looks like almost like a weirdly hench little rat-like creature, but humanoid, which has taken like a hammerhead. The actual handle seems to have rotted away, and is pounding rusted iron into shape. Seems to be making another of those little sconces with it.
Oh.
But again, the clanging is tinny and distant.
Are these the things we have to kill to get home? Because I feel weird about that now.
I hope not. The thing that grabbed you had like long.
Yeah, this is not.
Wiggly bits,
the
didn't
thing
it?
that grabbed me was bigger than these, much bigger, and had lots more teeth.
Was it like a person or an animal? Because these are like people.
No, it wasn't humanoid at all.
Okay, that makes me feel somewhat better.
Good.
Clara, what are these things?
They've seen us.
Oh, well, we weren't exactly quiet.
Well, should we
And you
just own
see
it? I step
several
out.
of them are turning. Sorry.
Hello.
I step out and wave. Hello.
Hi.
We're
They
not
begin-
coming here to cause you any harm.
Look, hands with nothing in them.
Visitors.
The bestial creatures all lock up.
Hi.
Some of them begin to reach for objects.
No, it's
possible
okay.
weapons.
It's okay.
They start to move closer, and then you hear
Oh boy.
portions of the rubble seem to move and shift, causing you catch. Actually, no. All of you have got pretty good perception now. You
No.
catch. No, not Scamp then. You catch sight of
Everyone else.
something.
My passive is still
moving.
10.
Something
Wow.
moving in the rubble. You catch the sight of mottled black and gold scales. Something huge. And then the rubble seems to settle a little, and there is a pouring of yellowish black smoke outwards, which coalesces into a form ahead of you. And you just hear, as the smoke is settling, a voice. 3 of you hear the voice, not Celestia. I'll get to what you hear in a moment, saying, "Hold now, hold. There's no need for us to be enemies."
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And
Hands.
yeah, you see, he seems to be saying it more to the various creatures behind him
Okay.
than to you. And you see the smoke. One particularly like bee-like creature in the corner is like in
Like
a panic.
that. Like that noise.
Yeah,
just there.
that noise.
Yeah.
That noise just
It's
there.
making those noises.
It's making those noises.
That's not a
Yeah,
motorbike.
yeah,
It's fine. Oh my god, what
I
is
know,
wrong
right?
with this person? Go away!
We normally cut this out, folks. Right. You see the smoke coalesces into a humanoid figure. Not much. About
On a
the same.
motorbike.
The bee, just like the little bee creature, like buzzing around in a panic. Gesture, like one of the others, just like gestures for it to calm down. Not going anywhere, folks. Sorry. You see the creature. You see them form into a humanoid figure, about the height of Celestia, looking not unlike a tiefling, with a serpentine cast to their features, lightly mottled black skin and a snakeskin coat with mottled black and gold patterns, as well as golden eyes and golden horns, like that of a horned snake. There is actually something slightly of Casimir about him, don't you see? So, welcome to the welcome to the walking bazaar. It's been a little while, a long while, since we had such visitors. Now, Coulson, Stamp, you hear this.
What do I
Celestia,
hear?
you hear.
I don't understand. Do other people understand?
What? Oh. What are you hearing?
Hissing.
Listen, tell your friend she needs to lower the shield around her skull. It's blocking the telepathy.
Oh, it's a telepathy thing.
Oh.
Oh, it's the ring.
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I, dismiss
Like,
that?
you fiddle for a moment and you feel like, yeah, you can feel it, and you can indeed voluntarily lower the shield just to telepathy. You get an instinct of how to do it, and you can now hear the voice. Ah, thank you.
No, thank you. That's helpful.
Much appreciated. Please, call me Pop. Or Poppy. Either one works.
Well, hello, Poppy. Celestia Stardust. Nice to meet
Hi.
you. Interesting place you've got here.
Thank you. Don't mind Buzzer in the corner. They get nervous.
Well, that's fair.
It's alright. It's been a nervous sort of day for us, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're new around here, if you probably could have guessed.
Indeed.
Yeah,
You're
basically,
looking full of colour.
Our friend here, I point down at Corzin, which is also down on my screen, which is really fun. Our friend here got dragged in and stuck. We're from the other world, the one with a little more colour and light than here. We're looking for a way back.
Yeah, we'd rather not stick around, no offence.
None taken.
We're here, it's quite bad for us to be here for a long period of time.
Yeah. Interesting. Sorry, normally the people who come here ain't in a state to do much speaking.
Oh.
We had some help.
It looks like... He narrows his eyes at Clara. Looks behind you. Interestingly, friend has vanished.
Oh.
You,
Good.
but Scamp, you hear in your mind, keep wary.
Okay.
So, what brings you here? I mean, I got time to talk. Time's sort of the issue, ain't it?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time. We're spending hours here is not the best thing to do.
No.
Depends. But you're looking for a way back for your...
Yeah, I mean,
travelling
how we
from-
got here, what brings us here is by accident, basically. And,
Yeah.
well, him by accident, then we followed.
That's kind
tricky
of what we do generally. One of us does something dumb or gets into an accident. The others follow. Chaos ensues.
Yeah, and then somehow we usually live at the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, mine's
9 times
maybe
out of 10.
some old friends.
Yeah.
That's understandable. I know at least one solid way to get out from here, but depends on something that's, last I heard, extinct. Type of creature called a Grim. You gotta get in there and get its heart. But that wouldn't work for your friend there.
Well, if it isn't
Not
extinct,
because
it's rarer now.
Yeah, if they're the big dogs, they're not extinct.
They're not.
Oh, no, they might be, actually.
We may have helped that along the way a little.
Whoops.
There's a flicker of irritation, but he calms it. Well, that's not something that can be helped. In any case, it wouldn't help your friend. That way will take you back, but it'll age you 100 years.
Oh no, I definitely can't handle that. And neither can Corzin.
No,
Can you
neither
not?
of you can. No, I'd be okay, but they
Oh
won't.
yeah, the elf would be fine.
It'd
You're
be
not
pushing
cracked
it.
the immortality thing yet then, kid.
What?
You're not figured out how to reverse the aging on your body.
I'm going to put that on my to-do list.
Is that a thing that they should be able to do?
How many M's in immortal? I'll just put
2.
3.
I don't know, I'm not actually speaking your language. Hold on.
3 sounds good.
You're not one of us, sire.
Me?
What's going on with you? Oh, you are interesting.
Interesting how?
Were you born like this, or did you take that body for yourself?
Let's talk about anything else. Oh look,
It's just like a
there's a city here.
it's
What
lovely.
lovely
It's
weather
just
we're
like a
having.
casual shift in Celestia. I just stand slightly in between this person and Scamp. Just subtly.
Hey, I'm sure it'll come to you in time. Don't worry. But if you haven't got it fixed yet, then you ain't gonna survive the trip back. But I assume you're here because you got another way?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Our friend can help us via a little alchemy, but we need to find the right sort of creature.
Yeah, the thing that brought me here was a big, sort of crustacean-like monstrosity.
Yeah, one of the snatchers. We heard there was one in the area.
Oh, bugger.
There aren't more around?
Something like that. You say you got the materials for alchemy. Most of them don't survive here, you see, after a pulse. They rot too quickly.
Let's do an insight check and see how hungry he looks about alchemy.
Roll an insight check.
Like, how grabbing was that? Because I got something, but I don't know how bad I think it is. It's not amazing. It's a 13.
He's very interested.
Do you have an interest in alchemy, then?
Don't have much practice of it myself. The things around here, even when it pulses, it doesn't refresh. It doesn't last. Well, it does refresh, but it doesn't last for long. All of the things rot before you can process them.
Yeah, we heard that was a problem.
So it's kind of hard to do it that way. Sorry, I've been out of touch for a while. Haven't been back to the real world in some time.
How long?
Oh, of course. Dunno, it's kind of hard to track time. This is all pretty new. Gestures
Well,
around.
it's 1798, if that helps you out.
Which calendar?
Yeah, Regency.
Who's the regent?
Okay, well that says
Oh,
more
wow,
than
you've
it
been
does.
here a long time. Big, horrible god thing.
This is gonna sound
Really?
super rude,
Ugh.
but what are you?
That's fair. That's fair. I'm... Like, I suppose, if we want to use titles, I'm the prince of this here town. We move around whenever there's a pulse, depending on where our little food source goes. Once upon a time, I used to be a prince back in the real world.
Oh, where were you prince of?
Little place in... I'm going to say the name and see how it translates for you. Haldanus?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a little place back there once upon a time. Things got a little heated up. How are the giants doing?
Great. Couldn't be
Fine.
better.
Deception check.
From both of us, I assume.
Yes.
That is a dirty 20.
Oh, it's not from me. That's 13 from me. Well, I'm good at deception.
That's less than ideal. Still,
You have history with them?
Something like that. They don't take well to people like you and me, kid. Says nodding to Scamp.
Okay.
Call it cultural issues.
What, tieflings?
I don't think that's what he means.
It was the easier question without revealing anything.
Oh, I see. You're one of the kids. Though you look wrong. You got too much power in you.
Okay.
Please explain.
Oh, you're one of the You know, one of the kids of the goat.
Oh.
Oh, was in literal kids?
Which goat? What's the goat's name?
Like, they're just the goats.
Oh.
Like, well, not necessarily their kid. Like, you could be a grandkid. I mean, I assume it's been a few centuries.
Probably. More.
At least more like several tens of centuries by the sounds of things.
Ah, shit, I have been out of touch. That's a disaster.
A goat. Okay. A kid goat. A baby goat's a kid. That's
Hey.
fun.
That's what I was thinking.
It sounds like that translated into a joke.
It did.
Yeah, it's a double meaning. It's great fun.
Nice. Listen, I'm gonna be blunt with you. I kinda can't get back myself. Especially if you wiped out the list of the Grims. If the Giants are still around, that's risky, but I don't know if you noticed. We've made a home here, but this is kind of a shithole.
Oh, did you want to come too?
I think we can help you out if you'd be so kind as to help me and mine get back as well.
Are you
What
going
are
to
you
cause
gonna
problems
do in the real world?
Well, hey, if you want to negotiate, I'm willing to hear your terms. Like,
I just want to know that you're not going to go on a mad rampage and kill loads of people or something, or do you...
why would I kill loads of people?
I don't know. I don't know you.
Listen,
We've met
I'm
lots
going
of
to be
strange
blunt
people.
here.
You could have a grudge against all humans or something. I don't know who you are. We've met you 5 minutes
Why
ago.
would I care about humans?
I don't know.
Like elves, maybe, but what? Are humans important now?
No, not really.
I mean, a little. As much as anyone else.
Not particularly.
Like, honestly, I'm looking forward to eating a cow again.
Okay. But
noble goal.
not eating anyone like a person.
Listen, sometimes, okay, I'm not saying I've never eaten a person, but like, it's not my preferred snack. People aren't actually these tasty treats. I don't know why dragons do it. I think it's a prestige thing. Frankly,
Right.
I'd much prefer some beef.
Are you a dragon?
I'm not a dragon.
Okay, I had to check because we've met dragons before and they tend to be a little more trustworthy, strangely.
Then what was all that enormous smoke and stuff?
That's to make me a little bit smaller and more portable, a little bit more comfortable.
What do you
what's
look
your
like
real form,
normally?
then?
I'm sure there's a list somewhere where this breaks a rule, but hey, building trust. There's a focus from
boy.
him. You see the various creatures like hustle quickly to the side as he turns back into smoke and reforms into a gigantic serpent, horned serpent with mottled black and gold scales. It's actually a little cramped, like he's slightly pushing against the roof. You happy? Can I turn back into something a little smaller now?
Are you going to be that form if we take you with us?
Are giant snakes not acceptable in social situations anymore?
Not really.
I'm kidding. I know. I'm probably gonna look.
Have we?
Humanoid
I
form
feel
again,
like we've
this.
heard something about giant snake things before.
Also,
Have
horned
we?
serpents.
Was it
Yeah.
was it winged serpent we heard about?
That
What
was
have we
winged
heard?
serpent, that's what it was.
Horned serpent is a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Achene have something about a winged serpent.
Yeah, horned serpent is from that thing that we don't reference anymore.
Yeah.
It's also a hieroglyph.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Listen, if you've got places you'd rather stay away from, I'm amenable to that sort of thing. If you want me to do something for you, like you need a favor or something.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, we have a favour where a giant snake would actually be really helpful. Are you any good in a fight?
I can be, No offense, but with the giants rolling around, I don't actually want to be that obvious.
Okay, we lied. The giants aren't around.
They've gone. They're
Or
all
at least
gone.
not here.
As far as we
in
know.
this corresponding part of the world.
We've not
I
seen
thought
them.
that you were going to get angry if we told you the giants were dead.
Oh, no,
we've
that's
never met one.
great
Oh, we've met
news.
one, actually. We met one giant. Half giant, I think.
One of the little ones?
Yeah.
Then no problem. It's the big ones that are the real ones.
But if you do us a favour, we've got a fight coming up, we think. If you do us a favour in that, we could talk terms later.
So that we don't spoil the stream.
Yes.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't talk
Fine.
about our plans for that fight.
If you get me through, I will owe you a favor. Either as, I don't know if it'll be the giant snake thing, but my friends here can certainly assist.
That would be... How many friends could assist?
I mean, everyone I got here, but don't worry, I can make them portable.
How many friends are there?
Up to 100?
Okay.
That's well good. That's so helpful.
After this fight, are they going to be able to integrate into society and not get themselves killed or kill other people? Or is there somewhere you can take them safe?
Oh, I can probably find somewhere isolated, sure, but I like civilization.
Being in civilization is fine. You just don't get yourselves killed or kill anyone is the main concerns. Any of them into killing people, particularly? Just so we know what we're working with.
We've lived a long time. We've killed some people in our time. We fight wars when we have to.
But it's not a particular hobby.
It's not my personal thing.
And
so
nobody
much.
needs to eat people to live or anything.
We need to eat to live. We have eaten people to live before.
But again,
I
not
mean,
your preferred snack. Yeah. That's fine.
But you're not going to go into somewhere that people already live and take it from them.
Not unless I'm invited to.
Okay.
I had a chance to speak to some of the Haldanic members of the crew.
Huh.
I feel like I'm lacking context here.
Yeah, but I also don't feel like we've got time or the ability to get context.
No.
Nope. No context.
So, do we have an arrangement? I owe you a favor. You get me in mine out.
No killing sprees.
No killing sprees.
Unless they are previously agreed on.
Yes. Well, a fighty fight isn't a killing spree. It's a different
Well,
thing.
depends
A killing
on-
spree is like randomly going out and murdering people in the night for no
I
reason.
kind of feel like the giant
Those sound
snake
fun.
against just some soldiers. That feels a little bit like a killing spree.
It's an ordered army
According to the
giant
definition
thing.
of killing spree that you just said, we're fine. Now, alright. Let's make a deal. Let's help you out.
Okay.
Kids!
Shall we say yes?
Sure, deals with creatures we've just met. That's never gone wrong before.
Yes. Deals.
Alright, you heard him, everybody.
Sure,
We're
what
getting
other
out
choice
of
we have at the
here.
moment?
Let's fly. He snaps his fingers, and all the creatures puff into smoke for a moment and then concentrate into little buzzing flies that fly into the pockets of his coat.
Ooh, that's a clever trick.
Yeah, not one I can do too often, but I've been saving it to get out of here. Alright, so, I mentioned before we had a food source.
Yes.
Well, it's a bit like the thing that brought you here, but it's a little bigger. Am I right in guessing you need one of its brains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bigger. How much
That'll
bigger?
do it. Quite a bit bigger. I'm going to help you out as well in this, because it's my interest you get you get its head. Now, listen, this thing is pretty nasty. Normally what it does is it just scavenges from your world, brings some things here. When it's done with them, or if we can get it before it finishes them, we get food as well. It's how we've been surviving. We kind of got it blocked in place. Get one of its heads off, get that potion made, and we're all out of here.
One of its
Just
heads?
be aware.
One of its heads? It has many
Yeah,
heads?
it's got 7.
Right.
Now-
Pertinent question, though.
Now, a couple of things to be aware of. Some of the heads, they can do this thing where they bite you and age you.
Oh, good.
Alright.
One of them is just really freaking scary. And also, the the bit around it, the shadowy bit, it can move that, and it kills magic where it goes.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll look at the rainbow spirit. Stay
Alright.
out of that one then.
Rainbow Spirit shudders. Alright, let's make this quick. Points
Yeah.
towards what appears to be a large and heavy door made out of just essentially steel that has been nailed together. And it's still resting.
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, is it vulnerable or immune to anything in particular?
Not particularly.
Cool.
Great.
Just try and get a head off. Clara says, not that it matters, but if you get multiple off, I can make another one for you later. Just focus on the one.
No.
Yeah,
good.
let's...
Time. Okay. He pulls open the door. And you reach the very centre. At the centre of this mound of broken masonry, carved deep into the grey rock of the island, is a pit or cavern, or to look at it another way, a prison. The high walls and ceilings have been constructed from the facades of what made up Midtown. You can make out the front face of the Chapel of St. Fury supporting the western edge.
Ah.
The base is rock, cut away and away into a deep pit where there slumbers the cavern's lonely denizen. It's hard to make out the entire body from here. Shadows pool around it, motes of darkness swirling like spores around it. All you can make out at first is what seems to be a mass of whip-like tendrils, grey and slime-coated. You notice then the trap. Painstakingly placed around the walls of the chamber are scores upon scores of stasis crystals, splintering out thin cracks to form a net around the crumbling walls. The creature dug down to give itself a space, reprieve from the threat of time. And then, as the door opens, it stirs. A segmented body, armoured in grey chitin, begins to unfurl amid the darkness. 24 pincered legs emerge from the shell. A head rises like a chitinous bullet in shape, but for the tendrils. 4 whip-like antennae twitch and quiver along the back of its head, and as it emerges from the darkness, you can see a mass of tendrils where its mouth should be. 6 holes in the chitin sit where the eyes ought to be. And then 6 more heads rise out as well. Okay, initiative, very quickly, please.
Okay.
7.
25.
Yep.
Natural
9.
Cause, sell, scamp. Got it. Okay, and the creature... goes after Celestia. Okay, so, Corzin, you are up first. You can see the creature is, at this point, way down in the pit, probably about 60 feet away. The body of it.
Alright, could I target the heads individually?
Yes, you can.
Okay, in which case then, I am going to use a bonus action to cast Lightning Shot, or the story flavor of Lightning Arrow.
Okay, got it.
And level my carbine at it, and take a shot at one of the heads, attempting to hit the 2 heads on the other side as well. So
Got it. Roll your attack.
is going to be a 22 to hit.
It strikes. As the shot fires, it turns into a bolt of lightning. Roll damage.
Right, so that is... More dice for this. 16 lightning damage.
Okay.
And the heads on either side have to make a dexterity
or take
saving
half.
throw.
Yep.
Yep.
They both. So you do a total of 32 points of damage, of which 16 are to one most damaged head. Any other actions?
Yeah, if I've got another attack. Actually, no, I don't have another attack action. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move around so we're not all bunched up in the same area. You
move out towards the edge. As a legendary action, then, the head that has been most damaged shoots forwards, unraveling into a terrifyingly long neck, and is just going to try and bite down on Corzin. Let me just quickly roll for what effect this has. Okay, it's a straight up bite. That is... 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
Okay, one of the heads crunches down, just managing to scrape the edge of you with its tendrils, which seem to try and rip off pieces of flesh as they go. You take 12 points of damage. 17 points of piercing damage.
17 points of piercing damage.
Yep. Okay, Celestia, you are up next. One of the heads is now next to Corzin.
So we're wanting to damage the head separately.
Yep. You want to get a head off.
I want to get a head off. God, what do I have that's just damage at one thing? I'm going to look at it. I'm going to go, I bet you have, like, one brain split between 7 heads, so I bet you're really, 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 really stupid. And I'm going to cast Distant Whispers at a really, really high level to see if that will do anything like a level 5 Dissonant Whispers.
Okay, and what's your wisdom save now? 18?
18, yeah.
Scamp, you're getting that tingling feeling.
Okay, let's try.
Might not have been the best decision because I think it runs away.
Dear.
Well, never mind, I've done it.
That's -3 from whatever it rolled.
Okay, it's enough. The head rears back 20 feet in horror as just grey ooze starts to pop out of the eye holes.
It's a lot of damage, so give me a moment. So 6, 11, 17, 18, 19, 21.
21 total damage. Okay, that is... Okay, I'll just add that onto the damage that's already taken. Alright, that is enough to blast into... that's enough. As the head rears around in a panic, you see sections of its neck start to splinter and shatter, and eventually just... There's no endoskeleton. The chitinous head just hits the ground and rolls a little bit into the pit, about 15 feet from Corzin.
Yeah. The creature does actually now, on a failed save, have to run away to its full movement, and is frightened of me. I don't know how many of it, how much of it that affects if it would have just been that head. But
okay, frightened does do disadvantage on its attacks.
Cool.
Is worth noting. Interesting. No, it's fine. You targeted the head, which it pulled out of its vortex, so the magic is not stripped. However, at the end of of your turn, if that's the end of your turn, legendary action, it's going to rear out another head, 7, and is going to try and bite Celestia. But as it gets close enough, instead of striking with clamping down on you, the tendrils begin to brush next to your skin, and you feel your flesh withering and aging. I need you to roll a con save, please.
Oh, your favourite.
I'm really good at con. Really good. That's 18 actually, so that's not bad. But
that
be enough.
is pretty decent, all said and done. That is a success, so you take half the damage, which is 8, 15, 24, 32, 16 necrotic damage.
32 would have been quite bad, so that's
feel
good.
Portions of your flesh try to age into dust as it uses its power of decay. Okay, that starts the lurker's turn. The lurker rears all of its head, and you see the twisting shadows around it go inwards and then burst into motes of darkness that float down and reconvene around Corzin and Celestia. You see as this happens, the rainbow spirit and the octopus both seem to shatter and run and hide and flow into and inside you, hiding in some way. All magic around you is now suppressed, while the entropic vortex is with you.
Oh, so they're like on us.
Oh yeah. It's then going to attack 3 times with 3 of its heads. So they are going as far as bite, and something else. Okay, the 2 bites are just going to go in and try and take off Corzin and Scamp respectively. Nope. Not Corzin and Celestia respectively. Both of which miss, actually. Although, actually, 15 against Celestia.
Armor class?
Yep.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Okay, yeah, you pull out of the way of it just in time. The last one, though, it turns to Scamp, and another head brushes its horrible tendrils against you. Con save, please.
Con save.
Oh, that's so much. It's 27.
Nice.
Okay, 27. 27. You are not fine, but you only take 14 points of necrotic damage. And as its turn ends, Clara calls out. You can see that the head is just on the edge of the vortex of the vortex of shadows, and Clara calls out, "I can't move quickly. I need you to get the brain to me."
Okay.
Scamp, over to you.
Animate objects on the head.
Oh, good choice.
Nice.
The head is just on the edge of the shadows. You can make it there and try and pull it out, but I need an athletics check from Scamp to get it out of the vortex.
It's in the vortex. I thought it was on the edge
It's
of it.
just on the edge. Just on the edge of
I
it.
will
So
need
you
to
can
do
pull
something
it out.
else then, because I cannot do that. Is there any way of
Okay.
getting...
In fact, actually, then, as you're saying that, I'm going to intercede, and you watch and you hear a sigh from behind you. Sometimes you got to do everything yourself. A giant serpent momentarily manifests and flicks the head just out of the vortex before the spell destabilizes, and they return to humanoid form. Over with you, kid.
Okay.
Can I get it out?
Now you can animate objects.
Yep, I will do that
So-
at 6th level, because that's what I have left.
Okay.
Yay.
The head eerily just like rises up and floats over to Clara.
There you go.
Okay. She takes out a surprisingly long and jagged knife and just carves into the back of its chitinous headpiece and pulls out already you can see starting to dissolve and rot brain, and shoves it into the prepared sort of potion bath and just starts shaking it vigorously. Okay, going to need someone to get over here and take this. Okay, end of the round though. Corzin, the creature takes another snap at you, doesn't manage. Okay, Corzin, top of the round.
Right, can I get to Clara?
You can. You scramble across the ground, which
running.
would be difficult terrain, but Ranger.
Yep. Freedom of movement. Well, actually, landstride, rather.
Yep. Grab hold, and you're able to grab hold of the potion that she holds out to you. It's more like a weird bucket of decaying brain ooze, but it'll do.
Delicious.
You uncork it, knock it back, and just for a moment, it's like you can see triple vision. You can momentarily
that's
very
weird.
clearly see the real world around you. And everyone at this point, as the lurker snaps its heads at you desperately, run up and all manage to put a hand on Corzin, including Pops.
Oh dear.
You focus and invoke the power, and with again, you feel that moment of pressure, and then colour floods into the world around you.
Oh.
The position of buildings change, structures change, and you are in an alleyway just behind the Chapel of St. Fury. You feel your flesh sink back into place. The wrinkles fade. You watch as, in an instant, the withered form of Clara returns to that of a young girl. That could have gone worse.
Oh
You
boy.
did
A
too
lot
badly
worse.
there.
For a moment, on this side, Celestia and Corzin, you see friend, and then you see them vanish.
Is Scamp back to normal?
Scamp,
Yep.
indeed, you see de-age back into a teenager.
That feels
Weird
so much
seeing
better.
you old.
Oh no.
No. That was... it's so long since I tasted fresh air. Listen, I know we got some negotiating to do, but there's restaurants around, right?
Let's get
Yeah,
some
go get
food.
yourself some beef.
I am getting a steak.
Enjoy.
And as you all kind of like pant, breathe your revitalized lungs once again, you just see emerging around the corner.
Jeffrey!
And we'll pick up there next time. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you to Dragon Meat and Mira for hosting us.
Especially Mira, we love
Especially
you.
Mira.
She organised this with almost no time. She's amazing.
Yup.
Thank you all for watching. Or listening if you're doing this later.
Or listening, we will be having this on podcast as well.
And before I say farewell, I believe there's raid instructions.
Yeah, we're gonna raid the D20 Future Show.
So if you go into the D20 Future Show, you'll be sent there from our stream. Say Fairsea's Natural 20s, and then say something nice about their stream.
Yes.
And say hello to them, and maybe stay on. It's called Jason Statham's Big Vacation. It sounds hilarious, and the title rhymes, and you should watch it. So do that.
But for now, farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs.
Only one fireball.
Yeah, farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.